The draft resolution has been adopted.
A proposed ceasefire in Gaza, presented by the United States, wins support in the Security Council. A clear diplomatic victory for the Americans, who blocked previous attempts to stop the fighting.
Over the past 8 months, this council has often faced divisions, and the world has taken notice with understandable frustration. But there's another side to this story, because today we adopted the 4th resolution on this conflict.
Algeria, the Arab group representative on the council, sided with the U.S. draft, almost guaranteeing it would receive overwhelming support from other council members.
We voted in favor of the draft resolution submitted by the United States because we believe it can represent a step toward an immediate and lasting ceasefire.
After the vote, the Palestinian ambassador welcomed any news that could silence the guns and the suffering of Palestinian people.
The number one item in that resolution is to have a ceasefire, to end this fighting, and we are determined with our friends to make it a long-lasting, permanent ceasefire.
Russia wanted an unconditional and permanent ceasefire, but chose to not veto the U.S. draft, choosing instead to abstain.
What specifically has Israel agreed to? Perhaps we will hear from the Israeli representative. The Council should not sign up to any agreement that has vague parameters. Essentially, this agreement gives carte blanche on details we don't have.
At the UN on Monday, the U.S. said repeatedly that Israel had agreed to the terms of the deal. But after the vote, it was unclear if Israel would abide by the resolution.
Israel will not engage in meaningless and endless negotiations which can be exploited by Hamas as a means to stall for time.
Security Council resolutions are binding international law, but their impact often depends on implementation. That will be particularly the case with this one. The United States says they will work directly with Israel to make sure it lives up to its obligations in the resolution. And the U.S. also says it expects that Qatar and Egypt, 2 countries that have played an important role in trying to bring about peace, will also continue to liaise with Hamas. Gabriel Zondo, Al Jazeera at the United Nations in New York.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.